to begin. So come to lie down on your back and just drop your hips, drop your head to the ground and hold on to your knees. And just take a small circling of the knees a few times. Go ahead and close your eyes if you haven't already. And just notice with that shift of taking out one more of the kind of consuming senses, how you can draw your attention a little bit more thoroughly and with more depth to the experience of just being in your body right here and right now. And then once you've kind of rolled out your lower back and that's starting to feel hopefully a little more open, just bring your arms out like a T position. Go ahead and move your hips a little bit, kind of just lift your bum and scoot a little bit to the left side of your mat. And then you're going to keep your knees to your chest and drop them in the opposite direction over to the right. So spinal twist, trying to keep the knees in line with the hips and the two sides stacked. From there, kind of walk the two shoulder blades away from one another. Don't worry if your shoulders don't come all the way to the ground yet. And just take a few breaths in and out there, just kind of excavating your breath into the back of the rib cage to open up the spine from the inside out. And if you'd like to, you can weigh your knees down with your right hand and stretch the left arm out like you're reaching for something just out of grasp. And take 5 slow, fluid breaths right here. Just focusing on the lateral inhale. And then gently descending exhale, feeling your body weight drop into the ground. And start to send that signal to the hip flexors and to the jaw and the throat. You don't need to hold on so tightly there. Feeling even the weight of the brain, the weight of the head falling into the ground, and a sense of softening the scalp, the muscles of the face. And then let go of your knees and bring your knees back up to center and just move the knees into the hips into the opposite side of your mat. Then draw the knees over to the left. And you can weigh your thighs down again here with the left arm. Walk the two shoulder blades a little bit away from one another and rolling eventually the mid-back toward the ground. And then 5 fluid breaths. And really try to balloon the breath into the back side of the ribs and the lungs. And as you breathe out, a letting go and unwinding of the spine. And just start to notice and observe what you've brought with you mentally to your practice. And I think it's helpful often to just acknowledge, okay, these are the thoughts, this is kind of what's coming up, but then making the choice, do I need to be driven by them right now? Is it beneficial to kind of continue to run these thoughts? And just almost kindly just set them aside and focus on the quality of your breath and the sensations in your body. And then letting go of your knees, go ahead and float the legs back up to center. And just adjust your hips so they're on the middle of the mat. Swing your arms down by your side. And with your knees bent, you're going to walk your heels in close towards your sits bones. And then spin the palms open, press down to the length of your arms and your shoulders into the ground. And just slowly bridge your hips up. Roll your hips up, pressing down to the soles of each foot. And then from there, looking straight up, press the head into the ground. Walk one shoulder at a time underneath you a little bit more. And if this feels tight today, go ahead and lift your heels up and really stretch your hips away from your chest. And then as you inhale, pushing down with the length of the arms, balloon the chest up towards your chin in bridge pose. Continue to feel your tailbone drawing under you, like you're drawing the low stomach in and the tailbone to the ceiling. And then keep that sense of lift of your hips. And then roll the heels down to the ground if they're lifted. And take one more big breath in and out there. Swing your arms up alongside your ears. And then as you exhale, you're going to roll down super slowly, pushing your arms down by your sides. Roll the hips all the way down. And just taking 5 rolling bridges here. Keep your knees and feet hip distance apart. Slowly start with the tailbone. Roll your hips up. Reach your arms back by your ears. And take a big, broad inhale. Like you're pushing something away with the arms, roll down, articulating down through the back, let the tailbone come down last. And again, press down the feet, slowly roll the hips up, stretch your arms back and open the front body. And then exhale, roll it down. And really try to clue in and feel which areas of your back kind of work as a unit, and if you can individuate that articulation along each vertebra. And just do that 2 more times, rolling up and down with the spine, taking it easy if you find that your back is a little sore or painful in any place. You don't have to push it. And then this time, as you roll your hips down, keep your hips on the ground and bring the right knee into your chest and extend the left leg out nice and long. And then just hug the right knee into your chest and take a couple of little circles with your knee and your hip. And then placing your hands behind that right thigh. And if you feel like this is going to be a lot for your hamstrings, you can always bend the opposite knee so your foot's on the ground. And then just stretch the right leg up 3 times. Just starting to open up the hamstrings and the calves. Drop the hips and the shoulders into the ground. And then on the third one, go ahead and stay there and point and flex that top foot and ankle. A lot of times I'm always like, oh my gosh, I can't believe how tight it gets so quickly. And then circle your foot around a few times, just articulating that ankle, waking things up between the sole of your foot and your calves, getting the blood flow back into the legs from sitting. From there, if your knee isn't already bent, bend your left knee and then cross the right ankle over the left knee and swing your knee open like a gate. Push both hands against the fronts of your thighs. Start to bring the left leg in a little closer. And then eventually take your hands behind that left thigh and draw both legs in towards you, pressing the right knee open with your right elbow. I'm taking this supine pigeon here, or our figure 4 stretch. You can rock the hips out side to side. Whatever feels good, just to move around and open up the connection between your back and your hips. And then come back to center, release both legs, and just stretch your arms out like a big yawning reach. Just lengthen your body out along the mat. And then do the other side. Gather your left knee into your chest. Pause there and just hug your knee into your chest and circle the knee around a few times. And honestly, guys, if you take one thing from this class today, do this every day, at least twice a day. Just the spinal twist, this kind of work of just opening up the lower body. It's more than 50% of our body. And so it really has an influence on the way that our spine feels, the way that the rest of the body feels, sometimes even just like literally our energy. If you just move the muscles, move the bones, it's incredible how the rest of the body responds systemically. And then here again, with your leg extended, and again, the modifications, right knee bent, go ahead and point and flex the top ankle a few times. And even here, just feel how interconnected the movement of your foot is to the entirety of your leg and your pelvis, your spine. And then circle the foot and ankle a few times in each direction. Add to it your long fluid breath now, expanding the inhale side to side. And as you exhale through the nose, imagine almost like a gentle constriction of your throat, like an aspirate ha sound. Keep that going. Cross your left heel over the right thigh. Push your thighs away from you for a moment. Just stretch out the front of your hips. And then let your right leg come in a little bit more. Supine pigeon. Catch a hold of the right thigh. Flex the left foot to keep your knee supported. And then just take a little rock here. Working on letting the hips and the shoulders and the neck return to the ground. And what I love about this kind of work is that it's very doable if the argument of I'm too tired comes into your mind, because hey, you're laying down. So it's something you can definitely do again in bed, first thing in the morning, before you go to sleep, at any point. It's amazing how the back responds to just gravity and the ground. And then go ahead and release that, both legs, and just bring your feet down. Put your hands behind your head. Bring the knees in towards your chest. And let's just do a little bicycle abs to wake up the core. As you exhale, pull the head up by pulling the stomach down. Press your head back a little into your hands while looking down. And then bring right elbow to left thigh and extend your right leg out halfway. Come back in, bend both knees, inhale. And then exhale, lift and twist, opposite side. And try to keep that other shoulder blade off the ground. So as you come to center, lift your mid back. Keep it as you twist and reach the other leg out. And one more time, slow like that. Inhale, center. Exhale, twist. And then really try to move from your center. Go continuously now back and forth 10 times. And just taking big, broad breaths, really twisting from the spine, opening up the back while strengthening your front. And again, as you do this, try not to pull on your head, but really feel again the core strength, like you're wringing out a rag, doing the work for you. One more time, right and left. And then bring both knees to your chest, sketch the backs of your thighs, lift your bum, and rock 3 times forward and back along the spine. If this doesn't feel good, you can just roll over to one side and make your way into a tabletop position. Otherwise, when you roll up, go ahead and cross the ankles and go ahead and start to step or hop your way back onto all fours. Tabletop into cat and cow. Lift your hips, lift your head, and then start with the tailbone like a wave and round the spine. Drop your head and pull the tail under you. Continue to feel like you're pressing the hands out side to side on the mat, pressing down evenly through all 10 fingertips. And you can follow me here with the toes tucked under to stretch your feet a little bit more, or release the toes if that feels better on you. Next time you round your back, stay there and just wag the head and hips a little bit from side to side, stretch out the side of your rib cage. And then come back to center. Lift your knees and hover them 2 inches off the ground. Take a deep breath there and lift up through the belly button, the back of the neck. And then keep that feeling of your lifting. Stretch your hips back into downward dog. Move the hands a little forward and then take a tread, bending one knee. Stretching the opposite heel down. You can either roll over the toenail side of each foot as well to stretch the tops of the arches. And then from there, just take that little walk all the way forward towards your hands. Separate your feet about hip distance apart and bend your knees a lot. And then interlace the hands along the nape of the neck to give your neck a little stretch. Gently let the weight of your arms be all the pull you need to stretch the top of the head to the floor. Bend the knees as much as you need to feel that this is less about the hamstrings and more about creating traction for your spine. And then take a deep breath through the nose and a gentle sighing exhale with the mouth and just wiggle the jaw, let it go. Then release the hands, look up towards the belly button and roll up super slowly, stacking your spine. And as you stack to the top, take a gentle shoulder roll up, back and down. And then swing the arms up overhead, inhale, and bring your hands to prayer position in front of you, exhale. Let's stay here for a moment and just interlace your fingers and roll the wrists out a few times. And then notice what direction your wrists are going in. So they're kind of going away from you or forward, and reverse that. Can always be fun on the old coordination there. And then bring your elbows out wide, push the palms down, touching your thumbs toward one another, stretch your arms forward. And then push your palms forward, let your shoulders roll forward, and then pull the shoulder blades back, pinch your shoulder blades together. So you're just doing that a few times, bringing the shoulders forward and back, really trying to feel like you're kind of flossing out the tension between the shoulder blades. Also toning the muscles of the upper back against all of the rounding forward we do when we're looking at our computers. And then reach your shoulders forward, stomach in, raise the arms all the way up, and take a little side bend over to one direction. Come back up, pushing into both feet. Make sure, again, your feet are parallel, second toes pointed forward, and you're pressing the weight down more into the balls of the feet than the heels. And then exhale over to the other side. And just do that 2 more times. Inhale, lift. Exhale, up and over. And this is a great one, too, again, for kind of body and brain fog throughout the day. Side bending, kind of it really hits all of the parts of the body, the connection between the torso and the lower body, opening up the horsetaling of the spinal cord, how it feeds down into the lower organs and the legs, all good things. And then last time, go over to one side, stay there, pull the stomach in, reach out to the bottom side of your body, and take a full breath in and out. Slowly come back up, soften the shoulders, and then lift through your waist and do that to the other side. Reach up to go over. Look slightly up towards the top elbow, and then reach out to the bottom side. Continue to push down to the opposite foot, and let that help you come all the way up. Swing the arms down, and let's go ahead and just dive right away, all the way down. Bend your knees as much as you need to. Come up halfway, sun salutation. Place the hands down to the ground. Walk yourself back into a plank position, top of a push-up. Pause there and press the head, the inner thighs up, but then drop your tail. Shift forward, and you're welcome to use your knees if you like. Chaturanga push-up, elbows and push-up, lower to the ground. Point your toes and lift your upper body halfway, low cobra. Exhale, lower that down, and then use your knees, press the shoulders to the ceiling, and sit back into child's pose. Draw the toes together and let the body fall to the ground between the knees, and take 5 steady breaths here. And just play around here. Rock the hips a little side to side. You could walk the hands from one side to the other to stretch the side of the rib cage more. The most important thing is reconnect with that sense of your fluid breath, your ability to little by little open up the areas that feel resistant and tight. And then inhale, come forward up onto all fours. Walk the knees together and then bring the right leg directly back behind you. Push down to the sole or the top of the bottom foot and lift that right leg up. And then reach the opposite arm forward, left arm forward. Bring your elbow and knee together, exhale under. Stretch your arm and leg out. Now you're gonna bring them out like a kind of cactus and dog and fire hydrant shape and bring them out to the sides. Go back to the starting position and do that one more time underneath you. Exhale, try to stay stable on the standing arm and foot. Reach it out and then lift your body forward as you bring your elbow and knee out wide. Reach your arm and leg out. Just bring the hand to the floor and then step the right foot forward on the outside of your hands. Walk the back knee away a little bit more so you're less on the kneecap, more on the thigh side. Here you're welcome to use blocks under your hands. Otherwise, you're just going to softly bring the hips forward and back. You start to wake up the inner groin on the front leg and the top of the thigh on the back leg. And again, this is the one, low lunging, so key if you sit a lot. And then from there, next time you bring your hips forward, stay forward, and just tuck the back toes under. Make sure your front knee's over your ankle, lift your back knee up. Make a fist with your left hand, plant it to the ground under your left shoulder, and then right hand onto the right thigh. Lunge forward a little bit more in the front leg and try to drop the back thigh a little bit more, and then twist open toward the ceiling to the right, and raise your right arm up. And just stay there 3 steady breaths. Think of lifting your body weight out of your bottom fist. And then if you'd like here, free up the wrist a little bit more on the top, circle your wrist around. And then plant the right hand down on the inside of the front foot, lower both hands and step back to plank position. Yogi's choice, you can hold right here or lower the knees like I'm going to show modifying. Pull the elbows straight back, lower halfway, and push right back up. Do that 2 more times, 2 little controlled push-ups. Try not to drop the neck. And 1 more time, lower, pull the chest forward, and then lift the stomach back in. Use that to lower all the way down to the ground. Release your toes and bring your hands back across your bum. Interlace your fingers palm to palm and press both toenails sets down. Lift up low cobra, the Shavasana locust, and then reach your chest forward and out. Take a deep breath there, and then lower down. Place the hands back under your shoulders, and then yogi's choice, either child's pose or give it a try. Push your thighs and your shoulders up to the ceiling and press as you exhale back to plank. And then join us in downward facing dog. Take a deep breath in, a deep breath out. Then lift your heels, bend your knees, and either hop or walk your feet to your hands. Come up halfway and look forward. Exhale all the way down. And then flat back or roll up if you're running out of room like I am. And then just circle the arms up overhead and hands to prayer position. Let's do that again. Inhale, circle up and lift. This time, arms wide, dive forward. Try to keep yourself nice and stable, right to left. Put your hands on your shins and look out. Ardha Uttanasana, half fold. Exhale, step or hop, both feet back, plank position. Shift forward, lower halfway down this time. And again, upward dog here. Try to keep your thighs off the ground as you roll over the feet. Press the hips between the hands and look up. And then all the way back over the toes. Downward dog. Lower down onto the knees and sit back with your knees and feet close now and grab towards the sides of your feet or your heels. Round your nose into your knees and push the elbows out wide. Half tortoise pose. Think of rounding that spine like a tortoise shell. Pressing the tail to the heels and your elbows pressing wide to expand your mid and upper back. Go back to that long, fluid breath with a gentle constriction to your throat. Ujjayi breathing. And then let go of your legs. Just let the arms fall by your sides and let your chest and head sink to the floor for 1 more breath. And then swinging the arms forward, come back up onto all fours. Let's do the other side here. Reach the ball of the left foot back. Make sure your bottom knee is right underneath you, your stomach's drawn in. And reach the right arm forward and balance, lifting that left leg up. Inhale there. Exhale, elbow, knee, draw together. Inhale, arm and leg out. Exhale, elbow, knee up high to the sides. Extend them back out and do that one more set. Exhale, under. Inhale, arm and leg out. Lift your body forward as you bend your elbow, knee wide. And then extend the arm and leg back out. Just your hand comes to the floor. Step the left foot forward all the way past your left hand on the outside of your mat. Scoot the back knee away a little bit further, and then just play here, opening up the hips, shifting your weight forward and back a few times. And go back into your own experience of how your body is feeling. What's different on this side than the other? And then keep your hips forward next time you draw forward. Make sure the front knee is right over your ankle. Tuck the back toes under and lift your back knee and really drive the back thigh up, but your hips down and forward. So you get a good stretch on that front thigh, right, the front of the back leg. Make a fist with your right palm. Place your left hand onto your left knee and then stretch your chest forward and then just pivot open to the ceiling. Left arm draws up in line with your shoulder. And just circle the wrist there a few times. Narrow the front knee a little, lift your body weight out of the bottom fist. And then exhale, hand down on the inside of the front foot. One more time, come back into plank position and slowly with a count of 5, lower all the way down to the ground for 5, 4, hover, 3, 2, and all the way down 1. And just release your toes back. Make a pillow with the right forearm in front of you. And then bend your left knee and reach back with same arm as foot to your ankle. And our beloved quad stretch, here we go. Press your knees inward, press the pubic bone down, and little by little, bending the left elbow to bring your heel in towards your bum. You can relax your head down on the opposite arm. Now gently start to look forward. Flex the foot that you're holding onto that ankle. Maybe move your hand a little further down toward the ankle rather than the foot. And then just kick your foot back into your hand a little. Look forward and lift up through both sides of the rib cage. Roll the left shoulder open and take a full breath there into the chest and back. And then release the tension and switch sides. Make a pillow with the left forearm, bend your right knee, and reach back for the outside of the foot and ankle. Start to bend the right elbow, narrow both knees, and try to keep your weight as even as possible as you breathe deeply down into the length of that stretching thigh. And then move your hand down a little further toward the ankle and shin and kick your back foot, right foot into your hand. Look forward and lift both sides of the rib cage. Try to really use the spine strength here. As you kick back, open the right shoulder backward a little more. And then gently release. Keep a hold of the right foot. Bend the left knee, Dhanurasana, bow pose. And if this feels like too much today, or if you can't quite catch the ankles, no problem. Just interlace your hands by your bum and keep the feet touching as much as you can. Whatever you choose, think of pressing the stomach up, then kick your thighs and chest up and reach back with your legs and arms. If you have a hold of the ankles, keep pressing your feet back and up like you're making a footprint on the ceiling. And then looking straight forward, take a big ballooning breath across the chest. Really lift up. Slowly lower that back down as you exhale. And then release your feet, but keep your knees bent. And wag the shins from right to left. It can be a little intense on the low back, so always want to unwind it from, again, any kind of deep back bending by rolling out the back or just rocking the hips like this. And then from there, go ahead and just flip all the way onto the back from your stomach. Placing your feet underneath you, and one more time. Arms down by your sides, looking straight up. Setu Bandhasana, bridge pose. Push down into the feet and roll the hips up. Walk your shoulders underneath you onto your back. And then see if you can interlace your fingers now, palm to palm, under you. And press the knees narrow in a way. Balloon the chest up. Press down with the upper arms and the elbows a little further. Take one more big belly breath in and out. Let go of the hands. You can invite those arms a little wider, as slow as you can. Take your time to roll down the back. And when the hips hit the ground, walk your feet out a little wider, right to left, and let the knees drop together, tenting the legs together. You just feel the difference when you first sat down upon your practice space today. Being witness once more to the mindscape, clarity hopefully within the mind. And then do the opposite with the legs. Walk the soles of the feet together, let the knees drop open wide, and place one hand on the heart, one hand on the belly. Relax your elbows to the ground and take 3 steady breaths here in Supta Baddha Konasana, reclined cobbler's pose. You can always put the pillow or the blanket underneath your hips if this feels like a lot, or the 2 blocks underneath each thigh. Otherwise, just slowing down your breathing. And then taking your hands to your knees to gather the knees together like you're closing a book. Once more, draw the knees into your chest and take again a simple circle around your lower back in each direction. And if there's any other movements that you need to finish your practice, go ahead and do that. Otherwise, just extend the legs and the arms out wide for just a minute longer. Shavasana, final release. Turn the palms open, let your legs and your arms relax. Imagine the weight of your eyes, the globes of your eyes falling into the back of the skull. And very simply, let go, even the control of your breath and your mind. And if you can stay here longer, please do so. If you need to move on with your day or evening, go ahead and start to lightly move the fingers and the toes. Gently roll the wrists and the ankles and let your head kind of bobble from side to side. Just relax the neck a little further. And then gather your knees into your chest. Rock the hips side to side to bring you over to your right side. And just pick yourself up. Come up to sit cross-legged. And then reaching the arms up overhead to finish. Sit as tall as you can. Lift up through your lower back. Keep all that height in the chest. Bring the hands palm to palm in front of you. Anjali Mudra, a gesture of equanimity.